Hi, my name is Nyk Sutter-Downs, and I am the theater manager here at Cornstalk Theater. And today I have director of Dark Passages, Kyle Redmon.
Hello.
Thank you so much for joining us
Thank
today.
you for having me.
So last night was your opening night, so to say, your first stream. Just tell me a little bit about how you were feeling about that. How did it go? What was your overall um, takeaway from that? Not really knowing what final product was really going to look
Yeah,
like, since it wasn't really a live show.
it was a really, really fascinating experience being able to, having really only acted in shows before and switching over to, being a director for the first time and just having the experience of, you know, being able to watch it kind of over and over again in advance of it going live and really obsessing over the little details about it in a way that I feel like you can't really do with live theater was certainly a nerve-wracking experience. But it
Handled it like a
was
pro.
well, thank you. It was so cool, and it was so exciting to be able to watch these actors who really are just tremendously talented and to be able to see all of the really tiny little choices that they were making, and to really like luxuriate in those in a way that you wouldn't be able to with a live performance was very cool.
Yeah, yeah. So tell us about what inspired you to put these two pieces together for Cornstalk's digital play series.
So, yeah, I was looking for something that was going to be obviously in the public domain, and that would be kind of relatively easy to stage. And the Cask of Amontillado jumped out as an obvious choice, partially because it's really well known. I feel like it's one of those stories that pretty much everybody read in middle school. And so, as far as horror goes, it was a good kind of starting point. And the play, the story itself is actually written pretty much as a back and forth of dialogue between these two characters. So there was very little adaptation that was required. So it was nice to kind of start the show off with that. It felt like something that people would be familiar with and kind of maybe find, accessible. And it was easy for me to write the adaptation and to do the direction because, again, it was kind of so already put together in that way. For the yellow sign, I really felt like, okay, this is an opportunity to do something weird and different, something that's a little bit more out there. I am a huge fan of like the Lovecraftian style of cosmic horror. And I feel like, H.P. Lovecraft kind of gets a lot of, accolades for that type of horror. Robert W. Chambers actually, did it first in a lot of ways. And so kind of giving him some due, I thought was great. And I just felt like it was a really, really engaging story about these two characters who are kind of, trying to navigate a possible relationship. One of them coming with this incredible amount of pre-existing baggage, and then when it takes this really, really odd sort of horrific turn at the end, I just thought it was a great way to showcase, Ethan and Alex's tremendous talents, both as, dramatic actors. There's some comedy in there. And then Ethan in particular, I think really, really goes for it at the end of the performance in a way that I think is really, really compelling. And I am excited for people to have a chance to see it.
Perfect. So tell us a little bit about what this process was like directing a show that's being recorded to stream versus being an actor in a show or being within a show at the Winter Playhouse where there typically would be a live audience.
So the reason that I kind of went with a horror adaptation was because it felt very, very spooky to be performing live theater in an empty room. It's very much haunted by the audience that isn't there, and there's something kind of deeply unsettling about that. And going along with that, with it being kind of a reader's theater type of performance, sort of initially thought of it as like, it's not that different than people sitting around a campfire, kind of sharing scary stories. And so, kind of sliding into the curve in a way of kind of taking the limitations and the things that would be kind of awkward or strange about it and using those to our advantage was kind of the main reason that horror really jumped out as the way that we should go. As far as the rehearsal process, it was really, really uh, exciting because it was so stripped down. We didn't have to worry so much about sets and things like that. We'd really just focused on the characters and focused on the language and what we wanted to get across to the audience. And then we put it together kind of as quickly as we could. Amy Glass did an amazing job getting the lighting together. And I particularly want to shout out Joseph Bennett, who was our videographer, who did just some amazing work putting it together. And you should hire this man, Joseph Bennett. He is a great videographer, and he did some amazing work and was a great collaborator. So yeah, I would say that really it was just a bunch of people getting together to do something different, and we all really felt like opportunities are limited right now to do theater, and so people were passionate about it just as something to do. But then as we got more into it, I feel like people really, really put a lot of passion and enthusiasm into this project, and that was so wonderful to see.
Yeah, I mean, and you can tell that the I don't want to give anything away for anybody that hasn't seen it yet, but that the two moments that really stick out with me in particular is like the screaming match essentially between Rachel and Anne was like I felt it viscerally, and I think that that's a testament to you as a director with really being able to pull that out of them.
No,
Um,
thank you.
and then again mentioning Amy Glass's lighting design, one of the one of those final moments in the yellow sign where Ethan and Alex are in their own individual pools of light, and then that just it's incredible what good lighting design and good direction can how much that can like evoke a visceral reaction from you. So I
No,
loved
thank
it.
you.
All right, one more question for you before we wrap up today. What do you hope that the audience will take away from viewing Dark Passages, streaming it digitally?
Well, this is I think we can all agree a pretty anxious time to be alive. And for me, horror has always been a way of exercising anxiety, and kind of taking the things that we're afraid of and wrapping them up into a package that is manageable. And so I hope that people have an experience like that. I hope this gives them something entertaining and a little bit spooky that takes their minds off of the world for a little while, and really, I hope that they see the tremendous acting talent that we have here in the Peoria area and in the cornstalk community. These are actors that you may have seen in some, you know, kind of minor roles in different shows. All of them, I think, really felt super nervous about kind of stepping up into a larger role and seeing those, you know, not only like having to have a larger role, but then it exists in perpetuity in a recorded form that you can look back over and agonize about. I think you know they did an amazing job, and I can't say enough nice things about how wonderful they all were to work with. And I hope that really comes across to the audience as well.
Yeah, it absolutely does. It absolutely does. Well, Kyle, thank you so much for joining us today. This was great. And for those of you who want to check out Dark Passages, you have one more opportunity. That's this upcoming Thursday, November 19th at 7:30 p.m. Central Time. If you want to buy your tickets, it's $10 for an individual streaming code or $15 for a family streaming code. And you can purchase your tickets at www.cornstalktickets.com.